What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my humble little channel here on YouTube. If you don't know me, my name is Sonia and I really like luxury beauty. So yesterday I tried the Tiger Eye Quad for the first time by Tom Ford. These are relatively new. They've been reviewed a gazillion times over, but I happened to get two of them and they are in front of me. These are my two first Tom Ford quads and I'm kind of just checking out if the brand is really worth the hype in the luxury community that it gets. I find Tom Ford quads incredibly expensive and it seems to have a lot of popularity. I'm down with spending a pretty penny for something that's super beautiful, but Tom Ford quads never really captured my attention. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the price point or just the fact that I'm not inspired by the color stories. I did kind of have a little bit of FOMO when it comes to these quads and I decided, okay, why not at least try them and see if I can get sucked into the magic that is Tom Ford. I tried Tiger Eye last time and I wasn't feeling it just yet. I did think that the matte was incredibly beautiful, which I'm pretty excited about because the next quad that I'm gonna try out is only mattes. This is the quad Smoky Quartz. Again, it doesn't really look too impressive when I see it in the pan. I did do some comparison swatches together with the Super Nudes palette by Charlotte Tilbury. I feel both of these are very similar in vibe in terms of color story, very neutral, very wearable, and already off the bat when you see the swatches, you can already see that one is way more pigmented than the other. So I wasn't too impressed with Tiger Eye. I thought it was a really beautiful palette, a very beautiful formula. It, by the way, did not sit on my lids for the entire day. I think it had about a 6-hour wear time. So today I did prep my eyelids before I'm gonna apply this because the creaminess that is this palette, so this kind of formula, if you have oily lids, I feel like the longevity isn't really there. I was incredibly impressed with the matte shade in the Tiger Eye palette and I can't wait to put this on my eyes today. So I think I'm gonna just zoom you guys in and we're gonna go ahead and apply this on my eyes. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the second shade and see if I can apply some in my crease area. I'm just kind of mapping out the eye and see what shape I want to do today. Next, I'm taking the, I don't know, what is this? The third shade. It's a little deeper. Let's blend it out some more. I'm gonna try to cut the crease with my Always On cream shadow. This is in the shade Vanilla. Let's apply this light shade all over the lids. And use that same shade to blend out the edges some more. Then let's go in with a liner. Finally, we're gonna go in with a liner brush and take that last final deep shade. take that same brush, blend out with that first shade again, and take that second shade and blend out the bottom lash line. I do have a little bit of fallout on this side. And let's put on some mascara. Okay guys, so this is the final look. And I do have some thoughts. First off, I think I look beautiful. I think that it's right for me to say that the mattes are incredibly impressive. They're so pigmented. It was quite easy to do. I don't do looks like this too often. I find them quite tedious and I like quick looks. I just don't have a lot of time during the day to do my makeup. Therefore, I do have preference to quads and very quick and easy makeup looks. This, of course, wasn't a quick and easy makeup look, but it's one of those looks that once in a while I like to do. And I have been trying to achieve what this look is with the Super Nudes palette. The Super Nudes palette is incredibly blendable, but it takes a while to build up the pigment, I feel, with this palette. And I think it's designed for it to take a while. It's designed to get a very wearable eye. This palette is of course a quad, so it doesn't have the versatility of the 6 shades as the Super Nudes palette, but the pigment in these is incredibly strong. It's very high. It's a very creamy formula, so I don't think it will last long on the eye. So I did set my eye, I did prime my eye. I think that the look that came out is very beautiful, very nice. I'm gonna add a little bit of that brown shade, that second shade, to the eye. So this is what we're left with. So here's the thing. I think the lightest shade is an incredibly great shade to blend out the other high pigment shades. They blend out really well. And that's what I found in the first quad that I tried, so the Tiger Eye quad, is that the matte blend out really well. Usually mattes can be a bit difficult to work with, and I don't like every matte formula out there. So the fact that this is an all matte palette and I can get such a high strong eye out of it, I really enjoy. One, I guess, bad thing is that out of the 4 shades, this one doesn't really show up on my skin, so I can only use it as, I guess, a base or a shade to blend out. And for quite an expensive quad, I do think that's a little expensive to have a shade that like barely shows up on your lids. It basically was my lid color. But there is a use of this color in this palette, so it's not like the reason why I wouldn't want to buy this palette, is just something that is worth noting. Then you have the strongest, the boldest, and the deepest color. I have no idea if these colors have any names. I don't think they do, but yeah, I think this color is a great liner color. I smoked out my liner this time around, but I wanted to use this originally as just a liner on its own, and I think you could do that. I like that this is such a dark color, but it was very nice and you can blend it out and you can build it up. So I was very impressed with this color, and it's very comparable to the Tiger Eye darker shade. This is a little darker, I believe. And therefore I think this palette has such versatility because it has such light shades and it goes to really deep. In terms of these 2 colors, I thought that they weren't going to be as different as they were. Actually, when I applied them, I realized, wow, this is already such a deep shade for what I wanted to do. I wanted to have it as a crease shade, but it really showed up. And I thought this was going to be very similar looking, so I thought maybe like the shade would be like 1 shade deeper, but it really intensified that color. They worked well together, and I do think it looks really nice and blended on the eyes. So all in all, I think I prefer this palette over the Tiger Eye, which is a bit of a surprise to me because I thought I was gonna like the shimmers. This is such a beautiful matte formulation. Again, I do have oily lids, so I have to wear a primer or some type of base to hold the eyeshadow in place. Do I think that these palettes are worth the money? You know, if you look at my palette collection, you can probably argue that none of my palettes are worth the money that I spent on them. But I do think that the all matte palette is in its own a little special. A lot of companies have tried to do an all matte palette and failed, and some have succeeded. Most of them are quite mediocre. but I actually think that this Smoky Quartz is a stunning palette, and if you were looking at one or the other, so Tiger Eye or Smoky Quartz, I actually would recommend Smoky Quartz just because it's a standout in my collection, I feel. All in all, I do want to see a little bit more on Tom Ford and the brand and what it will come out with. I'm not sure if I'm going to follow it as closely as some of the other brands that I follow. I will say that I do have preference for companies that are either clean, vegan, or cruelty-free, and so Tom Ford is, I believe, none of the above. If you do have any questions regarding this palette, I know that this palette has been reviewed a gazillion times on the internet already, but if you do have some questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try to answer the questions the best way that I can. Like this video if you liked anything about this video, if you like the look or you want to see more of this brand on my channel, please make sure to like this video. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see more luxury beauty. For me this week, I'm gonna go on a mini holiday with my family, so I'm really gonna enjoy myself. And after this holiday, the Hindash collection will probably be at my doorstep, so I can't wait for that. That's also an all matte palette. If you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And guys, have a beautiful and nice day. Bye.